What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the debut album from the band Pissgrave, entitled Suicide Euphoria. This is released on Profound Lore Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very raw, abrasive, and putrid style of death metal. This has been a band that has slowly but surely marking their thumbprint within the death metal underground. They've been working very hard to create some very hateful, disgusting, real deal as it gets sort of death metal. And all of that hard work emanated in the form of a self-titled 2014 demo that came out on Graceless Recordings. That was a demo that, by the way, sold out very fast. And judging by the graphic image that was on the tape cover, pretty much a hung... It's a really fucked up photo. It's a guy hung by a noose, the second half of his body just withering and decaying. It was just so scary looking. And you could tell by an image like that what kind of ideals a band like Pissgrave were setting out to deliver with their music. Very weird, uncomforting vocal sounds, very insane guitar playing, fast drumming, raw production. That band had a total package going for it. And word spread around quickly about what kind of a band Pissgrave was. And this band also got some more notoriety in the form of doing some touring with the band Dead Congregation. A lot of people got to get more acquainted with this band's live style of sound. They can sound just like how they do on tape, and it's just really amazing to see the kind of style they can accomplish live. And more hard work and dedication has come off in the form of their first album entitled Suicide Euphoria. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 31 minutes in length. And as crazy as 2015 has been for death metal and many assorted styles of metal, this is the one death metal album that I've been waiting to listen to all year long. This is the one straightforward, no chase sort of death metal album I've been waiting to listen to all year long. No death metal that has elements of thrash or black metal or any sort of hybrid styles. This is straightforward, raw, real deal sounding death metal. And with Suicide Euphoria, this album is far and away the most pure, real, despicably disgusting sounding death metal album I've ever heard. And I cannot stop listening to this album. One thing to point out about a release like this is how incredible it sounds. The production of it really brings out the rawness that this band has brought in their previous sounds. Of course, the production sound works out very well here. It works out very nicely. It brings out the best in the musicianship, but you can tell that there's an almost ominous, dark sort of vibe going on when it comes to the production. It's raw, it's intense, it's very unapproachable upon first listen. But once you get more into a record like this, you'll come to appreciate that a band like this is perfect for a production style like this. I think it's amazing sounding. The musicianship on here is extremely top-notch. I love the way these guitar riffs sound. It's very fearful. It's very buzzsaw-like. The first opening moments of Perpetual War just throw you straight into the mix of things. There's no easy way to walk into a record like this. You put on Perpetual War and you're just straight up into the fire. It's just insane with the way you listen to these crazed guitar riffs being handled on a track like Perpetual War. And then you get to songs like Pain Enchantment and then the title track. Just some really well-structured guitar riff work going on here. Very awesome riffs, very good solid chord styles going on with those songs. The soloing is very frantic and chaotic. A very It does harken back to the earlier days of death metal, back when death metal had that sort of scary, evil vibe when you listen to it. It's almost uncomfortable in a sense, but I say that in the most respectful ways possible. I really love the way that these guitar riff work sounds, and that's the most dominant factor of this entire release. I think the bass work is very good too. I think the bottom end to this record is very well established and very well handled, but more likely than anything, the story of this album is the insane, hate-fueled guitar riff work being done here. It really is amazing to listen to, and it's very fearful sounding. The drumming on this album is just top-notch from first track all the way to last. This drummer has a great sense of style. It never lets up. It's very relentless from the start. Quick blast beats, fast fills, awesome double bass. I love the way this drummer handles himself throughout this record, even throughout some of the slower parts of the songs. I think they work out very well here, like on the track Impaled Vibration. Just the way the drums are being done on that song is just insane. I love that. And then you have a song like The Second Sorrowful Mystery. Just some very good paced moments going on with the drums, and then all of a sudden things slow down and then start to get faster. It's just really insane the way the drums are being handled on that track, but overall this drummer is just sensational to listen to. And now we get to my favorite part of this record. This is the one part of the record that freaks me out more than anything, and that is the vocals. The vocals remind me a lot of early Deicide, pre-Deicide, like Amon era stuff. You hear a natural voice, but then you hear another voice layered over that voice, and it just sounds so frightening. It's almost demonic and satanic in its delivery. It's very scary to listen to the words come out of this guy's mouth. This guy screams and wails, being accompanied by an even darker sort of undertone. It really sounds frightening. I love that vocal style that this guy delivers. Once again, going to songs like Perpetual War, just an incredible vocal performance on that song. But then you get songs like Fields of Scattered Bones and the closing track Blood Fog. Just some insane vocal work being done on those songs. It's very fearful to listen to. This is a vocalist that really wants to scare the shit out of you with his vocal style, and listening to this album, it just touches a nerve. It touches a nerve when you listen to something like this, and it really makes you want to appreciate the style of death metal a great deal more. And I believe this guy's vocal performance is just amazing to listen to. It's scary, and it works out perfectly for this album's production, this album's speed and style and everything else. So this is a death metal lover's wet dream, I would say. So overall, if you're a fan of death metal, if you've heard things about Pissgrave, please believe the hype. This album is very much the real deal, and it is the death metal album of the year for me. I have been waiting all year long for a straight-up death metal record like this, and I believe Suicide Euphoria is the record to accomplish that. I really love the way this album sounds. I think it has a great pace, incredible production, disgusting riff work, even more disgusting vocals. I love the way this album sounds, and I am very happy that a band like Pissgrave is being made more well-known to people within the metal world. This band deserves to be heard. And pretty much, they don't need to have any sort of gimmick or underlying qualities about them. They are straightforward, true as it gets death metal. They don't need to have anything else added to their sound or to their image or anything like that. They make an impact statement well enough alone with an album like Suicide Euphoria. So, if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Perpetual War, Pain Enchantment, Fields of Scattered Bones, the title track, and The Second Sorrowful Mystery. Some incredible songwriting going on here with this album. So I'm going to leave you a link in the description box to the Profound Lore Records Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can purchase it digitally, and it is available in a jewel case CD. Very standard, minimalistic sort of packaging. Just a jewel case. You open it, you get another fucked up looking photo on the other side, CD, back with the band members. Very minimalist packaging, but that's the point I feel they're trying to get across with a record like this. There's also going to be a vinyl version coming soon, and hopefully more merch will be coming out of this band. I would not mind wearing a shirt of this band, or if there's any other merch that has the words Pissgrave on it officially, so hopefully that becomes a thing. So, again, the album is Suicide Euphoria by Pissgrave. This is released on Profound Lore Records, mandatory purchasing, and for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9.5 out of 10. This is top 5 contender, top 5 album of the year material. This is my favorite death metal release I've heard this year. It is just such pure death metal insanity. So support Pissgrave. If you've happened to have heard this, let me know what you think of it. I'd like to have a great discussion with you about it. So I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Ho out.